Here's another late development, and this news keeps coming in as we're talking here.
Welcome to another episode of the Books and Beyond Male Book Club. I am your host, Heero. I am joined today by the still eating leftovers from Thanksgiving crew, Rob, JB, and Black. We have come to the end of the miseducation of the Negro, and we're going to dive into that. But there's a few topics we got to cover in between all of that. First and foremost, our condolences go out to Nate Robinson. You are a perfect example of why you should stay in your goddamn lane. Just stay in your lane. Hey, listen to me. Stay in your lane because you don't know what other people are driving at the speed limit or not in the other lanes. And that's how your ass get clipped. And insurance companies don't cover you for driving slow. You feel me? If you get clipped, your ass is going down. And Nate Robinson, when he went down the first time, he should have just stayed down. There was no shame in that.
Relax, bro. Why was he look after you rushing and getting knocked
too
out?
Aggressive.
You like, okay, let me chill. This dude is throwing Chuck Liddell punches.
This ain't no
That's
street
the
fight.
easiest way to get knocked out, bro. Nate was good. He was probably trained. You know, he had like multi-sport dude. So he like, man, I'm gonna try this out. Relax, Nate. Take a break. Think about it. You ain't gotta rush this dude.
Y'all think he done or he go try to fight again?
Oh, he's done.
He better get some milk if he try to get back in there.
They ain't done. Nate Robinson ain't built like that, bro.
He's not built like that, but man.
He gonna try his hardest to get back on another car with another YouTuber.
What a meme's hilarious right now.
Oh my God. Hey, that Simba one came out so quickly.
You see my planking ones, right?
Oh man. When Rob started when you had homeboy carry you and you was playing it, that's when I died. I had to walk away. Like the thing that baffled me about it is that Nate should have known that Logan is actually no longer an amateur. He's had more than 10 fights now.
Yeah.
So
I thought he was 1-0.
He's 1-0 in professional fights, like that have been put on like TV, but he's been training and fighting since.
Yeah, they only been training.
So like
they say the last thing he heard was make sure you like and subscribe.
All right. Rob,
So,
how was Thanksgiving, man?
It was relaxing, man. Man, I feel like we work so much that we forget how it feels to just relax and do absolutely nothing.
That's the greatest holiday ever. Sit down and do nothing. Take days off of work just to go home and sit down.
I cooked, so I ain't do nothing.
Tragic. We have actually congratulations are in order. Congratulations, JB, adding on to the family based on social media.
Secretive ass motherfucker. This baby been pregnant for like 7 months. Ain't said nothing.
and if my eyes are
just doing as I'm told, man.
Hey,
and
you know what?
That's the best way to live.
And you know what? You might not have a choice because you got 3 women in your life now.
Know, man.
And as a person who comes from Nigeria where having multiple wives is a thing, you know, the man in the house in those households, they are quiet and they seem to live very, very long lives. So congratulations to you and your 3rd wife.
Yeah, man. My dad was a very quiet man. So I had 4 sisters. My dad was a very quiet man. I'm following suit. So here we go.
There we go. And Black, have you gotten any progress in Valhalla?
That's how you grew up. That's why you grew up in a multi-parent household. I ain't even started it yet. I gotta buy it. I just I finished Spider-Man. And what the fuck did I just end up buying? Let me look.
I don't even know what he buying.
I buy it.
Have you been having troubles with your PlayStation 5? Because a lot of people said they've been complaining.
Yeah, I had I tried to go into Call of Duty straight from 2K and it cut off on me. but everything booted up properly, so I ain't had no issues with it. But that scared me. And then the rest mode shit, I fell asleep on the game and it went into rest mode, and I had to boot it up regular, and then I had to, But since my hard drive was already done, formatted properly, I ain't have to worry about that. So everything been cool. Also, I've been playing Devil May Cry 5 and motherfucking Bug Snacks.
I don't know what Bugsmax is, but Devil May
Hey,
Cry
I play.
5.
Look, I buy and play every game. So when I start streaming, you're gonna be seeing all type of games you never thought you would see. Especially Minecraft. That's one of my favorite games.
Minecraft?
Yeah.
Minecraft's on PlayStation now?
Minecraft been on PlayStation 15 years.
Wow.
I was playing Minecraft on the PlayStation 3.
Damn. Okay.
I got the same account, same crib that I built on that motherfucker on every system. I just upgraded and kept the same dude, same shit. Got the farm.
Minecraft is on every system. It's on Switch. It's on every.
Yeah.
Damn.
But Minecraft was like when it came out, they started putting that shit on everything right away. It wasn't like they took it. That's why it was the biggest selling game at one point.
Mm. Minecraft was sort of like Halo and them, like it was exclusive. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So that's why niggas. That's why they like so much.
They did a motherfucker created a phone on Minecraft before,
and
a
it
working
works.
phone.
You could do crazy stuff like make a whole city and it functions like with bus stops and routines and everything.
Ain't that just the Sims on steroids?
No, the Sims gives you the building blocks. You have to build these things and contraptions to make them function. Like Sims gives you like the shell. You have to build the shell, the components, and the button press. Minecraft is dope, but this isn't a gaming podcast, so you guys can tune into another episode for that. We are talking about the completion of the Miseducation of the Negro, chapter 13.
You might want to you should have taken a look at the end of that last video. I'm pretty sure we have 14 to 18. Yeah, 14 to 18, because we stopped so we can have the last 5.
Rob and JB are shaking their heads no, so
that's fine. Look, we can go all 3, like all the same thing. So it's not like about to go deep.
Who in the group just wants Black to admit he was wrong so we can move on with our lives, man? Who just wants?
No, matter of fact, let's not do that. Let's make a bet, a cash out bet.
Look, now he want to cash app. You the one with the PS5. We're not talking about no cash app. I got student loan debts, and I'm still over here trying to figure out the cure to COVID. So leave me out of this.
Hey, Heero, we just gonna keep our fingers crossed that Congress comes through with this 10K relief that Biden asking them to push through.
Not even 10K. The whole story now is 50. He write it all off. He'll write it all off.
I just read an article on Forbes that he's pressuring Congress to start with the 10.
And he's gonna come through with the 55.
Hey, I hope so.
He got to.
But I want to see the 10 first, because I don't want to see him go for the home run. Start with the 10.
Look, give me 5.
No. See,
hey, give me 5, and then I'm gonna be rich next year.
No, see, the thing is, they've already talked about how this man has the power to write them off. $1.2 trillion debt. That's nothing now. That's four military cruise carrier destroyers, right? That's nothing. And he could write it off himself. But the problem is we need Congress not to write off our debt. We need them to fix the system. So or else this is gonna happen in 10 years.
Hey, you see the numbers in the past 30 years. The Democrats been taking us out of debt.
And you know what? I grow tired of like Republicans saying goofy shit to me like, oh, the Democrats just come and spend all our money. The 5 biggest economies in this country support all Republican states. The Republicans swear that they're like Kentucky wouldn't be here if Virginia wasn't there. Florida wouldn't be here if California, like Texas is the only red state that is self-sufficient. And
that's why they want to be their own country.
Yeah, but they know damn well they can't do shit. They swear. They swear like, oh yeah, we're gonna secede from the U.S. Shut the fuck up and go where? And go where? To Mexico? Okay. Viva la Mexica. Let's go. But
they swear they better than everybody else.
And hey, I lived there for 3 years. I'm still trying. It's not even the best place I've lived in the U.S. So I'm not impressed. You know what it is? It's the illusion.
Low key though, Fort Worth and Dallas is gonna become the new Atlanta.
No. Where are the white people gonna go?
They're gonna go to Houston.
Houston's already black.
Houston big as hell though.
Yeah, 4.7 million people, man. That's they literally grew overnight.
Space.
But the thing is, every year you got to worry about hurricanes, so it just keeps pushing people further north.
Yeah.
But the blacks I know in Fort Worth, cashing out. Not like little.
No.
My brother's about to retire and he ain't even 40 yet.
No, if you in the industry or in the markets out there, you winning in Fort Worth. Like, and it's just cheap because everybody thinks of it as Dallas's little sister. So nobody's like, you can't go to Fort Worth and be asking for top dollar, but you can go there and make top dollar. Like, it's crazy.
My auntie make half of what I make a month every week.
Half of what you make every month, every week. What the fuck she do? And does she need an assistant?
And they ain't got no state income tax either. So
no, they don't. But that's about to change because they about to see everybody talk bad about California because they have all these things. But like Black said like a few weeks ago, up in the north, he got a union. He got workers' rights and all this stuff. Down there, they don't. It's right to hire and right to walk. Like you can walk. Yeah, you can walk any moment, and that's just not reassuring. Like having all your insurance and everything cut same day. Nah, fuck that.
They be like, all right, player, you fine. But everybody don't get insurance when in right to work stage. That's the biggest thing for the employers. They want to make sure they can pay you what they want, and then they can opt out of fucking paying for insurance.
There are people out here who be like, well, if you got rid of minimum wage, that would make them give you more. And I'm like, bro, what have you been smoking? Like, what makes you think that somebody is going to do better by you with no rules? Like, rules were created to keep people like them in check. So it's baffling me when I hear them say that. Yeah, if you keep taxing the rich, they're gonna walk away. Okay. But chapter 13 talks about how we're mentioned in history and how we're talked about like when educating people about Black people. It talks about how people choose to educate us, how people listen to us, and just their understanding of us. And the best way to be educated on Black people is to actually be mentioned in books. And I didn't really realize this until Black posted it last night. That white lady who be disrespecting other white folks. She was like, the only person who's not racist is someone who failed social studies in high school, because by default, learning about American history is an implicit racist. Implies implicit racism. How true is this? And what changes has anyone seen since they were in high school to our educational system? Like, I know there was a book in 2017 that said slavery was a workers internship. In one book, like they swear they try to make themselves look clean. But what is the changes in our books that we've seen thus far?
Again, this coming from the Cal City perspective, before they had as many Black students coming in and it became like a Black school. I don't think there was any changes, and even as I seen, more of us coming into Cal City, there weren't any changes, any updates, or anything like that. And this book actually made me think about My personal perspective, because it say like I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about it because all y'all do is put us down. Like I don't really care to hear about the history, and that was the whole point. You know, and more recently I have been putting myself like, oh, this is something that I need to learn about and know more about from a different perspective. So yeah, I felt like, you know, I related to that portion of what the book was talking about.
Yeah. So yeah, there ain't nothing really changed about social studies, man. That's the problem. And then if it's like if a teacher wants to teach you about the stuff, she going off the curriculum, so they'll probably have a talk with her or talk with him or her. But it depends. Like as long as the kids up to date, they probably can do stuff like that. I know I told you, like at my daughter's school, they do actual Black history stuff. They talk about Black history and shit like that. I know y'all hear my smoke alarm got a little bit more aggressive. Now it says low battery.
Hey, and based on this weekly report, do you plan on doing anything about this at this point in time? Do you still feel safe? Like, how are you feeling?
If it got enough energy to say low battery, it can say it's a fire.
Hey, Rob, quick question, man. The study of the black male also is perpetrated in the media. This is when you get a story about Daquan, who has no criminal record, has no issue, but is brutalized by the police, and they dig up the fact that he missed school one day and was given detention in high school. But Kevin goes into a school and shoots up 13 people, and he's talked to with kid gloves. The media feeds into this frenzy and is based off of what we learned. How do we start making corrections to this?
Honestly, we need more Black people in ownership positions for these media outlets, right? And it doesn't even need to be extreme as killing, right? Let's think back to someone who's glorified from the NFL, Peyton Manning, right?
Mm-hmm.
He did something in college that was pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I think the girl ended up committing suicide behind it. But people don't talk about that.
No.
They keep them in a positive light, right? But if we do something as simple as jaywalk or don't pay our rent, we need more ownership. We need ownership.
BET let us down because they continue to propagate. BET is the embodiment of what this book is talking about, because BET could have been that news outlet, that news source for Black people to truly come to, but it fed into the stereotype to get white people's money.
Yeah, that's why I sold the Viacom. And but TV1 is the news source for Black folk.
TV1.
I don't know if y'all watch Roland Martin.
Oh, Roland Martin. Yeah. I watch him every night.
With the facts.
I love
just like some Democrats, though, he do go overboard sometimes. He sometimes he be like, all right, relax. They had a Republican on there, like the other day, a Black Republican that was admitting Biden won and stuff. Like he was calm as shit, and I felt like, thank you. Roland should have got down to his level of his tone, so that way it'd be paid more attention to. Because when they got somebody that
what's up, Camille?
She can't hear. I put my headphones in. But yeah, when you argue with somebody that's real cool about it, other people be like, man, Roland went on top of his game because he was too loud. The loud person is always the wrong person, and certain people are, especially if the Republicans.
So you saying Jeezy beat Gucci is what you're saying? Because he was
Jeezy beat Gucci because the music was better. I don't care if Gucci was up crunk. If Gucci would have played all three of his diss songs in a row, it would have been tough. But the fact that he took Truth all the way towards the back of a bunch of trash ass songs in between, he was like, man, he was playing features and shit. Like, let me play some new hits. Like, bro, you ain't got no new hits. Them 70 CDs since you fucking got out of jail ain't been busting.
You're a politician now, Gucci. Sit down.
Yeezy say, make some classics, man. Talk about making some new hits.
the thing that I had someone else out of the race leaking information for us. So part of it is ownership, but I think also we need to kind of stick to something because owning a news media outlet is difficult, but paying tribute to I guess independent media. So like what I do, for example, and how I portray stories. And I did a live about the Dave Chappelle situation. And a lot of people came to me and said, wow, I didn't think of it that way. Because if you talk to me, I think Dave Chappelle is dead wrong. And not only is he dead wrong, he's going about this the wrong way. Because his message should be, I need to teach you guys how to be business literate in Black business. Because just a few months ago, Megan Thee Stallion was in the same position. And we couldn't wait. Black community couldn't wait to call her a dumb bitch. They couldn't wait. But now that it's Dave Chappelle, it's like, oh, we hitting on him with soft kitty gloves. So we almost don't even want to help ourselves sometimes in these situations. Is our ability to gain freedom, we can't compete. I can't compete with Viacom. But should we be out there looking for the news ones and the identity boosts for news source? Like, how important is it to have multiple forms of information coming to you instead of just one?
So that's why I was kind of about to kind of go to it is, you know, part of it is like we probably can't own the news outlet, but for instance, LeVar Ball, right? And he go on ESPN and they trying to make him look one way. He just go on Shannon Sharp podcast and you listen to Shannon Sharp podcast and all he talk about is ownership. You know, he said, I don't give a damn what they say about me. You know, he like,
never did, bro. I love LeVar.
He never
That's
did.
the best father I've
LeVar,
seen.
you know, he dope.
Father of the year.
Yeah, he dope. And he like, I don't give a damn what they say about me. Every move I've made is about my boys. Like you can say what you want to say. I got two first round, top 3 draft picks. I got another son that's about to go to the league. And my dream has always been the same dream I've always told my sons, y'all gonna all play on the same team in the NBA. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to make that happen. I don't care what y'all say.
I think like 3 or 4 of the kids that was on his JBA team.
They all 5 of them
in the league. And they was I think they was top 5. I think they was all top 5 too.
Yeah, starting 5 is going to the league. That was on his Chino Hills with his boys, the other 2 boys. He said, all I told them, y'all need to rebound and play defense. My boys take care of the rest. Y'all gonna go to the league being specialists at that. That's what they doing.
Okay, so then let's take LeVar Ball of this because there's such a thing as the radical ideas. They say to us that us being radical, like Black people by definition are radical. The shit we've gone through in this country is define a Black person who's passive almost implies that they don't care. You should have someone says, why are you guys always upset about, you know, this shut the fuck up. That's why. Like you weren't here, you weren't with us when we were getting hit by these water cannons. Go fuck yourself. Like by definition, we're radical in that sense. In 2020, do we need to take a softer approach to help invite people in?
So I think it's all about like the tactic behind the radical, and what you're doing behind it, and what are you being radical about? Like, is it rational? Because you just can't, you know, be jumping off at everything. But some things, use your energy wisely. Like you only got so much of it. Is really how I like to look at it. Rob, I feel like you had something to say too.
No, I agree with you. Because like the Ball father, right? People say he speak too much, he do this and do that. I feel like other races and other backgrounds, they do the exact same thing. They just don't do it publicly, right? But I feel like we have to do things publicly because we don't have access to a lot of people, right? So I feel like him saying, my son's all gonna make it to the league and them doing it. A little kid back in Chicago, a little kid in Oakland, like, man, yo, I can do that too.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's necessary.
You heard it from a Black father, so you believe it. I'll say it again. After Uncle Phil and Carl Winslow left TV, Bill Cosby, that gap, you can't tell me. The next closest thing is we have a cheap Black father in Terry Crews. And after watching Terry Crews' Twitter stream long enough, you realize that the dude ain't right in the head.
I rock with Michael Kyle a little bit. from
Michael Gow's that man, bro.
That was my guy.
Yeah.
You know, Michael
And,
Gow, he was rich. He was
Yeah.
rich, but you didn't really know it the whole time. But he was rich.
Yeah.
That's why I rock with him.
Yeah. The last thing from chapter 13 that really stuck out to me is when my kids are in school, I don't care what school they go to, the first book they're going to read is going to be Okonkwo or something other than Shakespeare. The Black drama sphere is the legend of African Americans in America is a drama upon itself that you could write that is 10 times more tragic than two white families having an argument and one of them stabbing another person's friend and then a girl committing suicide. That's not sad. That's white people shit. Sad is there's a great story about how this dude was separated from his wife as a slave. She became a slave to join him, and then they both escaped slavery and became free in the North. And that story right there that's drama. That was oceans apart. I'm jumping on my kids' PTA, and I'm demanding that the first book my kid reads is not going to be Shakespeare's. So literature is not dictated. How important the truth is, I'm just now reading these books for the first time, so I have the ability to push it to the forefront of my kids' mind at that time. But how important is it for us to make sure that we are on the ball about teaching our kids that our art, our culture, our art form is appreciated?
Man, I think the book, I feel like the book hit on it. You know, like when you teach a people that they just as successful and illustrious history, has the same illustrious history as you, that changes the trajectory of what that kid or person might end up. You know, and for me personally, like I'm like you said, I'm just reading some of this stuff and taking it in for myself, but even still, like that changes my mindset when I walk into a room and sit in a room and think about different things. Like, this is who I am, this is who I need to be. And it helps, like, just to know who you are and where you come from. You know?
Rob, what's the book that you're going to want your kid to read before Shakespeare?
To be honest, it's probably going to be a little too advanced for him, but The Spook Who Sat by the Door.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Shakespeare. If you can read Shakespeare, you can read The Spook Sits by the Door. At least it's written in English. You understand.
So I'm gonna wait for The Spook until she's about in 8th grade. But I want her to read The Alchemist first.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, JB? What would be a book you want your kid to read first?
Shit, this one.
Hey, get straight to the facts.
Get straight to it. We're gonna sit down and talk about it. I'll tell you about my experiences, and we're gonna talk right through what you're going through.
I think more than ever, you know, especially as men, we get a bad rap because sometimes because of how we were raised or taught, like the values of like our ability to say I love you, our ability to be compassionate or passionate to our children is seen as a one-off. I think that has drastically changed. I remember the first time my dad said he loved me and was on my way to college, and I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, I was packing up the house. I'm a college athlete. Like, oh shit, I'm about to be on this campus. And I could feel the tension of him like saying like, damn, he's leaving the house. And he said it. I was like, oh yeah, I love you too, Dad. And I tapped him on the chest, gave him a hug, said, yeah, tell Mom I love you. And it was because I told him, like, tell Mom I said I love you too, because Mom has always been saying I love you. Mm-hmm. So for him, it was like, wow, I get this feeling. But now he says it every time he sees me. It's so reaction. And I think as men, we just got to give ourselves the freedom to be compassionate and realize that it's just another feeling. It's just another way of mode of expression. But I think more than ever, like especially this new generation of men are being able to see the benefit of not having this like ego trip about, oh, well, I'm not all mushy and stuff. Like, because when you see those like stoic ass dads who don't congratulate or celebrate with their kids after achieving something, it just looks sour. It's like, bro, we get it. You're tough. Like you used to be a college quarterback, but then your knee got blown out. Give it a rest, okay? But I think that's super important. Is anything else with chapter 13? All right, then chapter 14. This talks a lot about schools. So the HBCU schools. Rob, did you have anything you want to throw in this?
For chapter 14,
Yeah.
no, I think just the focus of 14 was on this idea of a new program, right?
Yeah. What to
And
teach kids.
exactly, and being intentional on what we teach them. And I feel like that's the biggest key for me is this whole thought of notion of being intentional in what you're doing.
JB, how important is it for us to have control over our curriculum? Like now more than ever, schools are always saying stuff like, well, I call it the you need to know a little bit about everything test. They give you these aptitude tests that are supposed to test you on these algorithmic things. I've yet to use Pythagorean theorem for anything. I've yet to put the equation of force or the ascending notion force equation to any purpose of my life. How important is it for us to be like, well, just because you went out here and memorized the white man's formula doesn't mean you're going to be able to get the white man's job. We need to start being intentional with education. So what type of education would you like to see your kids in the future have?
Yeah, man. So talk about intentionality. I wouldn't say I intentionally married a teacher, but that was something that I was aspiring for. Like, if you couldn't at least meet me where I was at academically, you had to be a teacher or something. But I think that it's just important because, I mean, like you said, I learned so much stuff I never use, and it was just solely memorization. And my daughter, she's smart as hell actually, and I try to make sure that it's not her just memorizing stuff, opposed to she actually know it, like she think through it, and I'll look at her think, and like that's a proud ass moment. I know. We watch her think, and then she come up with the answer like, oh, okay, you know how to like think, and that's what the book is talking about, like learning how to think versus just like remembering an answer.
But Black, as a person who uses his hands more in your job frame, you can attest to having a certain skill set as far as just hand and eye coordination. That's a valuable asset to you. So like you were a genius in the math department, but still, what would you like to see your kids learn more over than not?
Me, like I really want them to learn with her to learn about real estate and business. Something that keep that residual income. So because I don't want her to work all her life. So I'm trying to set it up so that she don't really have to work at all. Because we experienced generation after generation working their ass off and not experiencing life. And me and my coworker was talking about that one day when we was leaving work. We were like, man, we here 70-some hours a week, man. We don't really get to live life. Like fucking, we make good money, we got good health care, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, nigga, this ain't living. He ain't said nigga white, but still, he like this ain't living. We gotta fucking do. He like I'm gonna be trying to travel more. Because a lot of people come to my job, they know what they coming for, and they tell you before you start what hours you're gonna be getting, and they just think about, man, I'm about to make all this money. And then they have for a while, be like, God damn it, this money don't mean shit. I need to get the fuck about it. Some people be leaving, like some of the outside guys coming in, they leave after a week.
So then let's talk a little bit about how we push this forward. The answer to this solution was the HBCUs, but what we found was that the HBCUs, in order to stay within certification, because the school system certifies schools, and if the system is inherently racist, it's also going to force the black schools to also teach the racist history. I remember when my like our entry exam proctor told us on the exam, here are the answers to the white man's test. You will now be learning African metal arts history and weapon industrial complex and the mining industrial complex of Africa from here on out. And when I went into the test, I remember thinking to myself, like, man, I don't feel right taking these answers from her. And she said, trust me, they want you to feel that way. And hopefully by the end of this course, you won't feel no qualms about learning about who you really are. And it wasn't until she put it like that it made me like say like, damn, I'm out here actually defending white people and their actions because of my miseducation. So HBCUs have a large task, but I think more than ever, they recently closed down one of their PA schools because they didn't have proper funding, but their arts department did. And it's just like, hey, we get it. You've made some great artists and you have a lot of people coming through, but our community needs lawyers and doctors who are well versed in things that keep us down. Shout out to my homegirl Rachel Hornbuckle, who just got sworn in as a lawyer. I already sent her $1 to keep her on retainer. It's like, you got the residual income coming from me. I don't give a damn. But I think it's like, are we doing enough? Like, how do we get these HBCUs like funding? Because I don't think there's any privately owned HBCUs. Morehouse and Spelman are one. Howard is federally funded. Tough is privately owned, I think. And Hampton is privately owned. I posed this question in the back and pass. Are you down to let your kids go to an HBCU because I know a few of us had different outlooks on that because you wanted them to learn the ropes of a different program. But after hearing y'all speak on sending your kids to Black high schools, would you keep that going in the college world?
I don't even have children, but I don't feel like it's necessary because I've learned the rules of engagement and I could teach that to my children.
Yes. So I would send my children to an HBCU for a connection perspective, because by the time they get into college, I had already done what my mom wanted me to go to a PWI for, to learn how to navigate, do other different things, which I probably could have learned elsewhere. But that's her education that she learned, like, hey, this is probably the best route for you to go. But by the time my kids go to school, we'll be in a financial situation, have the connections we need. Like, it'd be more important that they go to an HBCU, in my opinion.
Black?
Yeah, for me, like I said, I'm not pressing on school for them. You know what I mean? I'm pressing on education, but I'm also pressing on them financially making it. So if it's a trade school they need to go to for business, or a trade school they need to go to for construction, or because I could do certain stuff, they probably could do something else to help out. But if it depends on more, we probably all do something else so we have our own construction company at the end of the day. But I'm not pressing on, college, because ain't no telling what that shit gonna cost when they get older, especially right now. Yeah. If I'm gonna spend $1 million for my daughter to work at LA Fitness, I'm going to shoot LA Fitness up. Because I ain't doing it.
Yo, it's not even LA Fitness's fault.
They got to go too for hiring her. They should have been like, no, you overqualified, baby. Go somewhere else.
I think like we've started this book club, and I sat here and I was sitting here trying to think like, how can I transform this or do something with this? Because like the four minds of us together, right? If we had to create a business, what would that business be? What would that business look like? Because like what they've repeated throughout this book is we have to create for ourselves. So this is not in the chapter, but I wanted to pose this question: if the four of us had to make a business, what would it be? And what would we put towards the community to help to kind of live vicariously through this book? Because all throughout this book, it talks about how our lack of ownership is our biggest downfall. People say miseducation, but we have education. And I mean, we're not billionaires, but if we had to make an idea for our people, what would it be? Like every week we come on here and talk about something we want to speak up into the community. And I think every piece of them has been an article of clothing or a material item. What would we give to the community to suffice or sustain it? I don't know if you guys thought about that, but I was just like, if I had to make a business plan with you guys, that's shit I would have been thinking about.
I was thinking about it too a little bit. I was taking some of the perspectives of the book. Like creating a business where you connect the religious person, the political person, the resources, but also just an area where we all can come together. I don't know if it's an actual business model per se, more than a non-for-profit, but I think it would actually help us. I truly believe one of my gifts is being able to connect people. So I've been thinking about this idea on its own, just how can I implement this idea? Does it take money? Does it take the right resources or what? But I have been able to connect different people to do some good things. Has it reaped me any benefits? No, but I think it's just been, some special things to watch.
Black, if there was a business plan or a business idea that you would put forth for our group right now, what do you think you would jump on?
See, it's been the same with me, bro. As far as any group I've been on trying to get some type of money for, it's that real estate, bro. It's just we can buy, like, it's just people got to be willing to not make no money right off back. Like, if they're willing to just put a couple dollars in every now and again, we build a building and rent it out, and then let that building make a little bit of money, buy another building, and then at the end of the day, how many other people in the group after we get up enough buildings, then we start splitting up the profit instead of just worry about making profit right away. I'm not interested in making money next week on some money I invest.
Yeah,
So I'm okay
yeah,
with putting the building together and then just letting that money build up and using that money only to better that building or get another building instead of just trying to put something in my pocket right away. We got time. Like, we're not retiring tomorrow, so we don't need that money right away.
Yeah. I think people really do get caught up with that idea of making money today. Like, there's a part of me that always says, like, remember when you were a kid and your parents said shit like, I wish I could give you more? This is your opportunity to not be like your parents. Give them the life that I'd much rather tell my kids about my struggle than have them experience it, is how I say how to do it. So we got like a business partner plan with JB.
It say we learn to spend money more rapidly than when we learn to earn it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we're pushing towards with the book. And we got real estate. What about you, Rob? What would be your master plan?
I think it'll probably be a nonprofit, like similar to what JB was leaning into, and I guess it'll be tied to what Black was speaking on too. But a way to help parents identify what their children's gifts are, and say, hey, based on these gifts, the most feasible plans for your child are A, B, and C.
Yeah, that's why I said that The Alchemist will be my child's first book, so they'll learn to live through their dreams instead of just not give up on their dreams like adults. Like we were talking about that. Well, if we read The Alchemist, you'll see what I'm saying. I ain't gonna keep giving y'all too many previews.
Black clearly wants us to read The Alchemist.
I was gonna say that today though. Either Rich Dad Poor Dad or that. You know what I mean? Because we've been talking about Rich Dad Poor Dad. I mean, right now we're talking about finances. So one of the two for me, because I didn't put it on a thing, and then I don't care what everybody else thinks. We all right here.
Y'all ever read one of them? Y'all ever took one of them aptitude tests where it tell you like you should do A, B, or C as a job?
No, I didn't even know that was a thing.
I took one,
but they tell you to get a job. So fuck them.
It tell you to get a job. But all it was stupid. It was dumb. Like it didn't really.
The one thing I know from taking like the MCAT, the GRE, the LSAT, the TISA, the HESI, all these medical exams, the one thing that is 100% sure for me is it's a weed out test. It's not a test to see how good you are. It's a test to weed you out. They want to be able to say, this is why we can't give you a license because you don't have this memorized.
Right.
Will you ever use it? No. But we require you to know it right now. You don't, so you can't get the license. And that's pretty much the failure of our education system. By weeding people out, you scale it down. Orthopedic surgeon, he needs to know about the cardiovascular system. So if he nicks an artery, he knows to call a cardiovascular surgeon to do it. The surgeon that comes to mind, I had a surgeon who nicked an artery and thought he was Big Hoss with his hammer and said, I could do this. And he has no skill in sewing up an artery. That's not his deal. He's good at hammering hips back into place. That person bled out for 20 minutes and ended up having to lose his foot because he had no circulation. So now he went in there to get a hip replacement, and now he's walking out there missing a foot. And trust me, that hospital's still paying that man. It's the hubris of people who are given titles that really affects like our professional field. I am a pulmonary specialist. Even though the lungs are right next to the heart, if I did something to the node or one of the ventricles or one of the chambers in the heart, I'm calling a cardiopulmonary physician because that's their specialty. So being direct with that, but I really do like those ideas, and I don't know, we'll probably talk about it offline because I feel like there's no reason for us not to take advantage of all of our skill sets within it. We have an accountant, we have a handyman, we have a insurance personnel, we have a medical personnel. Like, why wouldn't we take advantage of this?
So are we not willing to get our foot took just so the hospital can pay us for the rest of our life? Who's really not willing?
You know what? Hey, Black. No lie. This dude was the calmest dude I've ever seen when he woke up. Oh, what happened? Like, well, sir, you went into breathe, and I'm sitting there like, he about to lose his fucking shit. And my guy was like, where's my wife?
Was your brother?
No, white man.
He knew dude he was about like, to get that ticket.
Dude was like, where's my wife? He was like, where's my wife? She was like, no one has seen you. We wanted you to wake up first so we could tell you this to your face. And he was like, I'm fine. Just let me see my wife. And the wife comes in, and she does the whole faint shit. But when I tell you this dude was coming in to get booted up and fitted for his prosthetic Iron Man foot, my guy, every day he came back in, he came in with something nicer. First day was a watch. Next day was a new car. Next day, my man had a suit on. And the fucking shoes cost more than the fucking boot he had on. So like the dude was just getting progressively better for the year that I saw him. So
because at the end of the day, your feet, your toes don't get cold.
Hey,
your shoes always fit. I would have been like, man, y'all should took the other foot so that way I could be wearing baby shoes around this bitch. Like
like crazy legs.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't be a menace, bro.
That's just crazy. 15, unless we have anything for 14.
Because when I go swimming, I can put on those fucking.
The one quote I will take from 14 is, "We often celebrate the wrong people in history. Abraham Lincoln is not the savior of black men. The 178,000 Negroes who laid their life on the lines for an attempt at freedom with the white man in the war are the true heroes that no one ever talks about." And from now on, whenever someone says Abraham Lincoln has done the most for black people, that's going to be my response. No, the 178,000 slaves who fought alongside the Union for freedom are the heroes of black people. That's going to be my new saying. 15.
I'll be thinking about that all the time. Like if I got injured at work, man, I'll be
Black.
crazy.
Stop thinking like that. We don't cast that on you.
Hey, stop saying that out loud too.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my coworkers got something. They back fucked up. That nigga paid for his house. He got I wouldn't have got the Harley he got, but I definitely paid the house off and did all the shit he did. He still worked, but because it's a work injury, it wasn't his fault. I want to go try to hurt myself, especially not my back, because I already know how that shit feels. But if I slip on some ice.
He trying to meat meal himself at work until a payday.
Like you can't actually try to fall because that shit hurt. But if you don't know, you don't know. And that's the thing.
Yo, stop. Number 15 chapter 15 talks a lot about jobs that are brought to black people that are not like self-sufficient. That adage of the whole feed a man for a day, he's grateful for that day. Teach a man how to fish, he's grateful for the rest of his life. I thought it was so strange when they brought this up, like how they were sending people to school to be shoemakers and watchmakers when they had factories that made these things by the hundreds within hours. And black people still send their kids to school for this. Like,
but I thought about that too. Like if you make a specialized shoe that you can put extra detail in and it'll be unique, it's gonna cost more outside of making the thousands or whatever you're making. Because
But
I had a buddy who was over here the other day with a pair of shoes on that only 70 other people got. So I'm like, yeah, they was dope too. So I'm like, okay, it makes sense. That's why I thought about it. I'm like, it'll make sense to be able to make a shoe personalized
That's
because
a
you'll
job
be able to
for a
sell it
rich
for a lot
person
more.
though. That's
yeah,
a
Yeah,
job
but
for a rich
what
person.
was that in the book? They was talking about making the shoes. No, that's not in the book. That was in Game of Thrones. You know, the dude that was the scepter. He was like, yeah, I was making shoes for rich people, and I was making enough money because I was making them. I was specialized making them, but then I wanted to live like them, so I was selling them shoes, and I was trying to live like them, and
I
that's what
think
made
that
him
then
become a
takes,
priest.
but I
Remember
think
the dude
that
that burnt
pushes,
that
Mhm.
had everybody in jail?
but I think that pushes directly against the messaging of the book, which is do something that can suffice the community before yourself.
Yeah, for the book portion, it was saying it like it's been saying. That's all I said. Repeat a lot of stuff.
Hmm.
Don't do something that somebody else has already done. Try to do something better because it's not better to be like the. It's not even cool to even have to teach somebody something that's all
Or like how to make the wheel when the wheel is already
mechanically
perfect.
done. Because there's no point in learning. Yeah,
Yeah. No,
yeah.
you're absolutely right,
Like if you
Rob.
still teach, like there's still a class for wood wheels when you when you got the rubber tires and shit,
Yeah.
and nobody or nowhere on nothing use wood wheels still. But they
Everything
teach
come
you.
back.
You got a school that teaches you that shit because somebody teaches like, nah, bro, it's time for them to learn something different. Don't teach that shit. Like, if somebody want to go into it and learn something on their own, that's on them. But don't waste people time like a mass amount of people. They keep giving the black people hand me downs.
No, for sure. And that's the best way to put it. Hand me down. So then, what's the game plan here? Then, let's say JB, um, when you're giving, or like at least from this shoe perspective, is it more important to go into school? If you're going to go to school, is it more important to go to school to learn something new, take a risk on yourself, or try and fit in to the bigger picture of something? Going to school for business, you're going to fit in for, you're going to try and fit in with the bigger picture. But I specialize, like I went into forensic pathology. I can't go nowhere else but a morgue with that degree, or I got to be re-educated on something else. So what is the risk cost for you? Something mainstream or something unique?
So when I went to school, my dad told me one thing. He ain't had no other advice with college. He was like, whatever you do, when you come out, make sure you're useful. Make sure it's something that you can do, and no, like can't nobody take it away from you. So I did a lot of thinking about that. That was the same time the whole Occupy Wall Street was going on. Everybody was getting business degrees. And I was like, well, no, I'm not getting a business degree because I can open a business tomorrow. I don't need a business degree to do that. So I actually went and got a psychology degree because when I took the psychology class, I started learning more about the human way we think and brains and everything like that. And I was like, that's applicable to everything, because I want to learn how to interact and work with people. So that was really what I went to school for. I just went to learn more about different people and how they interact. And now I'm just taking that to another level by learning about cultures and different things like that. But yeah, I think you should go to make sure whatever you're doing, it's something of value. It doesn't the job, like if you're going for a job, the job could go away tomorrow.
What about you, Rob?
I think for me it comes down to what your plan is. If your plan is to, like I think JB hit it on the head, your plan at the end of the day should be to come out with something of value, right? And if that's your plan, if that means going to Wall Street, if that means becoming a lawyer, becoming a doctor, do those things, right? But if you don't got a plan, don't go to college, right? Don't waste resources. Go to community college. It'll probably be free.
Hey, how important is it for kids to take that first year off?
I wish I could have. I walked right into college, right into academic probation, right out of high school. I had no idea what I was doing.
I
None.
say community college. I always say community college first.
community college or a year off, one or the other. But walking myself into academic probation solely because I remember one of my counselors was like, "You don't know how to study." Like, what do you mean I don't know how to study? Like, I didn't know how to study. Shit, TF North shit was easy.
Yeah, when
And the
you
way
go
you
to
were
class,
studying, you're looking at the whole everything. You gotta
yeah,
break shit down.
yeah. When they say you got to read chapters 10 through 20, and the test is gonna be on that, and everybody's like, "Oh, so you just went home and just started reading all the book?" Yeah, I just started reading. I remember that conversation. I like, "Hey, teacher, professor, I can't finish reading all these chapters. I got 10 other assignments due." And he was like, "Oh, so you actually went home and just started reading every chapter, every word in the book?" I was like, "But you said read chapters 10 through 12." He was like, "When I taught you 1 through 10, did I read everything to you in class?" I was like, "No. In fact, I did it all within an hour, right?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Now leave my office." And I was so baffled by that. I was like, "What?" He was like, No. You paid me money to give you an education. It didn't say I had to spell it out to you. I've educated you, my son. Now leave." And and to this day, I remember sitting there outside of his office, and when he came outside for lunch, he was like, "You still here?" I was like, "What you want me to do?" And that was when he taught me how to study. So it's just crazy. Yeah, that's such a good point. Like, motherfuckers just say shit. Like, I don't think I would have got off that easy if I didn't go to an HBCU, because they're like, well, one, the white teachers, they'd be like, "It's 180 of y'all. So who are you?" Like, okay, all right, Gyro, I'll see you later. Thanks. Like, fuck out of here. But I say this also because Black people don't want to do this. Taking the scraps of millionaires can put you in a different tax bracket. Too often than not, we are hesitant to engage in businesses that might be perceived as less than, because we don't want to be seen as less than. But if we jumped into these things, we could change our tax bracket. One big thing with this, and this is the idea I actually came up with, I was interested in us buying like a shipping container or a shipping fleet of trucks, because that is considered to be less than work. But when you're carrying over $200,000 in precious items that you take 15% off top, that's a business right there. That's a business right there. So how important is it for us to, as Black people, not to look down on these tasks that are actually getting paid out the wazoo these days? Like, are there any jobs of those natures that you guys know of that you see Black people frown upon, but actually be making bank? I think
Garbage man, post office. Hey,
shit.
hey. Um,
Electricians.
yep, electricians.
Plumbers, welders, for sure.
Mhm.
Welders be making bank.
Carpenters.
It depends
make
on the
a
welder
killing.
though. The underground welders make bank. They
That's
know
too
where they at.
dangerous for me though. I can't be going underground drilling. No way. No way.
No risk, no reward, baby. Come on.
Oh no, this ain't the fucking Transformers wiki. No, it's not like that. I don't have to risk it for the biscuit. No, like I said the other
If
day,
it's my mama biscuit though,
and I'm still not risking it. You talking about going underground, drilling up, and hoping that shit don't fall on your head?
he'll,
No,
he'll,
I'm
he'll know
good.
about my mama biscuits.
Hey, look, as soon as I come back to Chicago, you can feel free to invite me over to come eat. I already told you I was gonna
You only
pop
get my
all
mama
of you.
biscuits in Detroit.
Hey, we can take a road trip up there. I'm not above driving to Detroit with you,
Hey,
bro.
that's random. Where'd Detroit come from?
My mama biscuits, bro. Martin mama, bro.
Hard mama biscuits.
Oh, I was like, wait, where's Detroit? Okay. I was like, man, was there anything else in 15? I think the quote that JB said about how we spend money comes up in 15.
Yeah, I think the thing that stuck out to me is this concept of keeping up with the Joneses. And he talked about that a lot in chapter 15, where we make money and just spend it. spend it, instead of saying, yo, I got this money. Like Black said, I got this money. All right, let me figure out a way that I can navigate this money to where the next generation ain't got to do what I'm doing. They'll have a choice. I'm doing this because I have to. They can do it if they want to.
Mm.
Yeah, and they also brought up that dualism concept too, and we talked about it before. You know, you see the one restaurant doing good, now you feel like you need to open up another restaurant. You know, and not a knock on nobody, but you know, we got a million people I know with clothing companies right now.
But it's a next door. Now, if you ever been to Angry Crab in Chicago, that's where they do the seafood boils. Now, Angry Crab, boom, they opened up more now. But a few years ago, it was only one. And it was a restaurant right next door that did the exact same thing. And nobody ever went there, bro. Like I'm talking about the line for Angry Crab be out the door every day down the street. People waiting every fucking day that they open, they were like that. And the store, the restaurant next door have nobody. Like one person would be like, "Fuck it, let me go over there." And I guess a lot of people did it before. That's why they don't go there. But like, it's not Angry Crab. But no, that place is a different place now. That's how bad it was. Like you can't make no money like that trying to do exactly what you seen somebody else do right next door to them. Because once that clientele build, it's over with. Like you ain't about to see too many Ford drivers grabbing Chevys.
I think also it speaks about consolidating. It would have been a lot easier for that restaurant to be just knock down that damn mall and create double
Exactly.
space.
And just expand it.
So like consolidate, and that's why I come to the realization that it bothers me. It bothers me when we don't just have the balls to just talk to each other as business from a business mind, and it's because we lack that business mindset to talk to you. Like even as I've grown, I've gotten to know you guys and develop over the thing. Our friendship came first, but if I had to set up a business with you guys, it would be in black and white because feelings get hurt, but business has to remain the same, and you have to remain business composure at all times. Like no matter. I tell like this the way they told me in the medical field. I remember it was my circulator was a black nurse, and she was like, the KKK, the Grand Wizard himself could come in this bitch and call you the N-word. You still got to save his life in front of everybody else. But if you catch his ass in the hallway, that's between you and God. But I just think it's crazy how like we just lack that ability to just be professional with each other and struggle. How many times has somebody come up to me and be like, "Hey, I want to start a podcast," and I'm like, "Well, shit, I got about 300 episodes under my belt. What you want to know?" Well, what type of camera do you use? Well, I use a TI like 6 Canon camera, but that's like a $600 camera. I wouldn't spend that much money right out the gate. I think you should do it with your cell phone and get a plug-in mic. And they'd be like, "Oh, you don't want me to be as good as you?" No. I want you to, but that's a lot of upfront costs for someone who's like, have you ever talked to yourself for an hour? And they're like, no. So what do you think you're about to talk about for an hour? Well, I was going to do 10-minute videos. Well, then that's not a podcast. That's something you put on Instagram or Facebook. And people like, they get offended.
That's a vlog. That's a vlog.
Yeah. And it could work for you. Admittedly, if I sat here and talked about the latest trends in hip hop and shit, I would be way more popular. But I'd much rather talk about, hey, look, the mRNA virus vaccine is not something that the government is going to force you to take. You guys are safe. You have a Bill of Rights and a few amendments that protect you, preferably the second one, that will stop you from being forced into getting a vaccination. And few people say, wow, thanks for that insight. I didn't know that. And also, you idiot, stop saying that the MCRC vaccine has dead baby fetal tissue. That is the most illogical thing I've ever heard. Wow, people are stupid though, but neither here or there. What else do we have in 15? I said something about buying black and when you can't do it for free. I don't know what I was probably alluding to there. Anybody else have anything on 15? All right, then let's push 16. This one talks a little bit about health and how lawyers and doctors kind of play a role. The importance, Black doctors, 36% of treatable heart disease in the Black male community is actually treatable. And like these are people who have insurance and can get it treated, but don't see the doctor. What is the number one reason why they don't go to the doctor? Anybody know?
Remember the black. Okay, back in the day, black people didn't go to the doctor because of all the stuff that the hospital used to do to them or the way they used to treat them. Like you
Yeah.
had to go to a different hospital. Like I don't know if it was this book or some other stuff I was looking at or reading. But they were saying that they had to take motherfuckers to like a back alley as rooms to get worked on.
That was
But remember
that
they,
was in life.
yeah. But remember they was giving people syphilis, black people, black men syphilis and all type of shit that was killing them and shit back in the day. So
Yeah, the
black people grew
Tuskegee.
to black people grew to just be like, I'm okay without going to the hospital. Like, and then they got to a point where they was like, if I don't know about it, it can't harm me. So no matter how sick they got or how sick, if they didn't feel like they go in their mind, they tell themselves ain't nothing wrong with me that bad to go there. I ain't going. Like a black man wouldn't go to the hospital until he about to die, and they have to call the ambulance. And they find out like, yeah, man, you've been having high blood pressure for forever. This seems
And
like it was your third heart attack.
the that's definitely the old school reason, and there's reason to believe that there's, and you can't deny that the Tuskegee experiment is a real life thing that's documented and was done by our government. It was paid and funded through by our government. But in today's modern world, where there are where lawsuits and things like that happen, the 36% don't go to the doctors because there's a lack of representation. If you don't see a Black doctor, you don't feel like that white doctor understands where you're coming from. Whenever I go to the doctor, I specifically request the darkest person on the sheet, and surprisingly, they're always free, which is great for me because if you try and schedule the people in the top of the list, they're always busy. But we get razor bumps when we shave too close to our skin. And I would have white doctors tell me that some Neo spray will fix that right up. When in reality, you're going to need a way stronger component with about a 10% steroid because our ingrown hairs grow back into our skin because they're so coarse. That's something that a white doctor didn't know. And it wasn't until I got a Black doctor that I was able to start shaving close to my skin again and then apply that ointment. It's just a certain level of conformity we're looking for that we don't get. That was just one thing that popped out for me in 16. But above all else, hygiene. They talk about hygiene and healthy eating. Black people have some of the worst diets, and is once again a product of our environment. We grew up eating the leftovers of meals, so we had no choice but to add a bunch of seasoning to help those poor meats taste better. Uh, through it all, what habits have you guys found yourself having to break in order to be a healthier version of yourself? Like I haven't had McDonald's or soda in 10 years.
Well, I stopped eating at McDonald's, and I drink soda like that. I try to drink like a pop a month, cause for the sodium, cause I don't use salt like that on meals. So I'm like, all right, I'll drink a pop a month. But in that, like when I was in Afghan, they'd be like, yeah, you make sure you drink a pop. Like make sure you drink a soda, so you can get that sodium in your body, because you need it. You definitely need it over there when you're drinking Gatorade out of Gatorade and water. You
Yeah.
need a sodium in you, soda in you, because all the stuff that we have is not good to eat because we eating MREs and shit.
What
And the
about you?
food though, I changed my whole diet. Remember, I had high blood pressure, high cholesterol, so I changed my diet for a while. I went vegan.
Oh, you're a vegan, Black?
No, I I eat vegan from time to time. Like I don't always eat bad meats, and I don't always eat meat. So sometimes I just go and just eat vegan for a couple weeks or a week or so. But for the most, I eat chicken breast on a regular basis, salmon. But sometimes if I do eat, like, I very rarely eat like steak and pork and stuff like that. But I love it, so I will eat it from now and again. And then when I cook, I use bacon grease sometimes. But yeah, for the most part, I eat healthy and fucking vegan.
Yeah, thanks for letting me know, Black. I can't eat your food now. I gotta watch you, bro.
Yeah, man. No
Just
swine,
Told
my
you.
putting bacon.
brother.
Remember,
Yeah.
I told y'all that a few times, but I'll use butter for y'all, or we can use something else, or some cooking oil.
Well,
But it
appreciate
don't
it,
have
bro.
to.
Appreciate it.
It don't have to be the best for y'all. You know, we
Does
can use some
anybody here
bullshit
do
butter.
intermittent fasting?
Yeah, so I don't eat during the day, but sometimes it might be an ad because I would be forced to buy a snack because I'd be starving. But I try not to eat because I can't eat breakfast, seeing that I start work at 3 or 4 in the morning. So I try not to eat until I get off work. So that'd be like I'm fasting fucking 3/4 of my day, and I get off work and eat a small meal.
Saturdays, I normally don't eat when the sun is up. That's usually how I go for me. What about you, Rob? What are some health habits you've broken trying to get to a healthier version of you?
So I think so. One of my younger brothers, my oldest younger brother, actually, he's Muslim. So when he goes through Ramadan, I thug it out with him.
Mhm.
I rarely eat. I think the biggest thing for me, I watch what time I eat now. Meaning, growing up, I had a habit of eating at like 2 or 3 in the morning. Not anymore. If I don't eat by 9 o'clock, I'm not eating.
Yeah, real talk.
In the afternoon, I try to stick to like salads with light dressing. Morning, eat an omelet or something, but I got to eat something in the morning. And that's pretty much it. And then I have like a cheat day. You got to cheat on Friday where I just eat a burger or something for dinner, like a triple burger from
JB, come
Five
out.
Guys.
JB, come in and tell us what your faithful eating life is like. Cause Rob out here cheating on the meals.
Now
Now,
JB eat.
the biggest thing I did though, I cut down the portion size. Like I used to just eat big ass portions for no reason.
Now he
You
just eat 3
guys,
small portions.
now I eat like 6 small portions, and I ain't gonna lie, but it ain't. We don't eat much red meat, if at all. Um, and we try to add vegetables and fruit into our diet as much as possible. Pop, I don't even buy that shit. Water, fast food. Only fast food we eat is really Chick-fil-A. So I don't even know if that count because they so damn nice. Other than that, yeah, that's how we eat. But a lot of it, like you started with, it come from money. Like, my wife, she bought all organic food. Um, I don't even know if it's organic. Like my next step is I want to link up with somebody with a farm and buy food straight from them, and do it that
That's
way.
nice water.
And same with my water. Like I want to know exactly what my food and what's coming and going into my body, where it's coming from. And the other thing about that is I work out like I used to, because I feel like as we get older, and I'll even look around in the gyms and stuff, like it just don't be a lot of women in there. Like women don't work out, so I make my wife work out. Black women don't work out, I should say, as much as they should. And like for me, I make myself do cardio because I don't do as much cardio as I should. I just feel like I want to lift. So just paying attention to that stuff.
Yeah, I love me some bleachers on a cold winter day. There's something amazing about hitting some bleachers. I don't know. I
One
go,
of
huh?
that makes one of us.
Like because I've only known how to work out one way, which is just to gain muscle and mass from playing football. So it wasn't until like one day I was like, damn, when I'm running, carrying this heavy ass back and all these goddamn muscles is not making my cardio easier. So I was like, maybe I don't have to lift 400 pounds today. I can just lift 200 today, but lift that 20 times. And I had to change. And people look at me still in the gym and they be like, man, how long you been lifting 200 pounds? I was like, oh yeah, I do like 4 sets of 20. And they be like, 20? Are you performing for the combine? It's like, no, but like I also don't want to be just this bloated version of myself. So like bleachers, because I don't like running straight lines. That shit is defeated. Just like, why would I run straight when I can just walk there? But when you going up some stairs, if you ain't careful, you gonna trip. So you want to get up and down them with efficiency, with your full attention. So the bleachers be my boy, and you can do that in the cold or the summertime. Don't matter. It's gonna be the same feeling. But yeah, I think we have to definitely get back to a place where our health is our priority. The way we stay alive is by taking care of the vessel we have, and we only got one. We ain't gonna be able to get 6 hearts like Roethlisberger and all of them. Rockefeller. We got company.
And man, I'm about to start back like walking my dog at least a couple miles a day. He gets to run a lot.
The thing is, I haven't been able to work out because of the pandemic. Like, I just don't feel safe going into gyms yet. But once this vaccine comes out, man, I'm gonna take it and I'm about to live my life. I'm about to go back to living my life. But 16 just really talks about health. Was there anything else for 16?
How close are we to a vaccine, Heero?
In my honest opinion, by the time people like people like us get it, probably somewhere in February.
And they were talking about next month also,
but I feel like
people like us, bro.
People like us, black
people probably won't take it unless they work in a hospital.
I don't, like I said, you gonna have to take it if you want to do anything in this world, because if the airlines make it that you can't get on their plane unless you have the vaccine card, you're screwed. If Walmart says you can't go to their stores unless you have the card, you can't eat.
That's why I shop at Target.
Well, yeah, you know,
I ain't
Target.
picking my stuff. I don't want to pick my shit off the floor anyway, so I'm going to Target. Like, damn, I like that shirt. Oh, my size is all on the floor.
Yo, so, but honestly, I just like, it's 64% of Americans said they won't take the vaccine. If they don't take the vaccine, we can't reach herd immunity till we get to about 78% usage rate. Then we're looking at about another 200,000 people dying, which is unnecessary. Like, I don't get it. Like, when you can look around the world and see like things like polio is gone and and all these other diseases are gone and disappeared, how you can argue the science, but like, there are people who are on my timeline right now saying they're not going to take the vaccine, but they were vaccinated as children. And it's just like, you're fine. Nothing's wrong with you. And you're over here talking about something and they're like, well, why did it go from 8 to 12? Well, the same reason why we went from having one car to having hundreds of cars. Things get better. Like, it's just natural progression. The same reason why you making $15 an hour as a high schooler isn't enough now.
Mm-hmm.
But I think February. Let's have honest hours. Actually, y'all don't have to answer this question if you don't want to. But who in this group would take the vaccine if it was out today?
I'm waiting. I gotta see how the majority reacts to it first.
See how a few people. So that's to Heero's point. It won't be available to us until a few people then already does.
The rich people would have already taken. So once you start seeing rich people fall down, just know you ain't taking it. But if you know, like the NBA, the NFL are all gonna have it first. Like Hollywood is gonna have it first. So things like that is gonna be fine. But like, I work in healthcare. And we're supposed to be getting the retrograde version of the vaccine to test on COVID lungs to see if we can reinfect lungs on EVLP after it's been given the vaccine. So we'll get those results probably December 15th. But Black, would you take the vaccine if it was available today?
Nah, I'm okay, bro.
I'm probably.
Go ahead, Jeremiah.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't really take medicine. That was the whole reason I changed my diet, because I had a neighbor with diabetes, and then I'm like, fuck, I gotta take these pills forever. But then I met this dude somehow. Fucking, it was like magic. How this shit? It was coincidence. So I ran into this dude. He was like, yeah, I had diabetes, so I had to take those pills too. But I'm like, so, like, you still taking it forever? Like, you got to take that shit forever, though, man. I hate taking medicine. He was like, no, I grew my own vegetables. And from that day on, he's only been eating his homegrown stuff that was in his yard. That's why I said, like, you can farm in the city because this nigga live in the city. So he's only been eating green. He went green. So he only eat, like, the fruits and vegetables that he grow or he get from the community gardens or Whole Foods, and when it get too cold, he runs out. But he don't have that. He don't have no health issues at this point now, and then he only eat that way forever.
Oh well, yeah. He made a substitute. If he wanted to keep eating the Big Macs, he would have to keep taking the medicine. But he decided to give up the Big Mac and eat the vegetables, so now he's better. But
on this
JB, would you take the vaccine?
I thought all the rich people.
Okay, that's right. I have no problem being y'all scapegoats. If there's ever a day that I come in and I start then y'all know
I'm gonna think you singing rapping the new Lil Wayne mixtape.
that is.
I'm like, all right, Uzi. Okay.
I got a problem with being a test dummy. Even
Kizzer. Shizzle.
Daddy, take it easy.
It's a Kizzer.
But it is
that old songs and shit.
Hey man.
Oh, you fucking been watching Pootie Tang.
I'll let you guys know. I'll give y'all my real time. I probably will have the vaccine probably December 12th, like everybody else in the healthcare. Everybody that has to do something pulmonary is gonna have it by December 12th, they said. So
13 days, 14 days.
Yeah. The vaccine is ready. The version of it that will be shipped out is ready. It's going through protocol on the 7th, 8th, and 9th, and then they make the decision on the 10th. And if it is approved on the 10th, all the vaccines that have been already shipped to the hospitals, they'll then allow the people at the hospital to take them. Like the vaccines are already here in our hospital.
Oh shit! So by March, April, we gonna be done wearing masks and stuff. Or no?
No, to be honest, I'll be wearing a mask probably till 2022.
I said that though, like people gonna wear them because remember we said that last week. People gonna be wearing
even with the vaccine, because remember the vaccine isn't an immunity to COVID; it's a boost to it. It just gives your body. It's like, let's say if you're about to go into the ring with Mike Tyson, you would want to be hit in practice by someone who has the same strength as Mike Tyson.
Give me some adrenaline.
I don't want to be hit in practice. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't want to be hit at all.
Give me adrenaline.
I just want to know how to avoid those punches because you see.
And that's the thing.
At the end, he was like, whether it's your head, your body, your arms, everything hurts. Like
he was slumped too. He was slumped.
He was he was clenched up. He's holding himself the whole time he was talking, bro. He was hurt, bro. During the fight, you saw it. Like at first, motherfucker was like, "Oh, that's how Roy fight." First round, I'm like, "Man, he getting his ass hitting that body, boy. He can't, that shit ain't
grabbing the
whole. Then he was like, "No, that's how Roy fight." Third round coming, like, man, I'm like, "That's how Roy fight." Roy was like moving around, holding his whole rear, bro. And at the end of he was dying there, bro. He kept hugging the shit out of Tyson. That shit wasn't no joke.
Man, Tyson is a whole nother animal. I was sitting there thinking I could take Tyson if I had 6 months to train. No, I'm good. I'm all the way good.
For that check, I'm fighting him. For the check, I'm fighting.
But to the point, then you would want, hey, Heero, I need you to come wail on me real quick so I'm prepared to take punishment.
I want the same contract that fucking they had. If I get cut, the fight stop. If I get knocked, if we get knocked out, it's stop.
If I go Nate Robinson, it has to stop broadcasting immediately. Ain't nobody screenshot it.
I need double.
If I get knocked down, the lights have to go out. Can't nobody see that. Lights have to go out.
Jackson, that boy, real quick.
Yeah.
Get it off.
Yeah. I want it to go straight to commercial. But it's the mRNA, so it's just taking the viral load that would be enough to put you down and giving your body a preparation for that. So when you first take it, you might feel signs and symptoms of being a little sick, but you could still get COVID. You're just going to have a better chance of fighting it off from being the version of COVID that kills you. So that's why wearing masks is important, because you can still get COVID, and it's better to have the defenses and never test them than to get tested without any defenses.
I'm gonna stay in my house. We finna get one time. We ain't going nowhere.
Don't worry. I'll come and give you guys my full review. I plan on putting it up on my YouTube. Maybe I'll get a few 100,000 likes. And if I turn into a zombie, y'all know what's up. What was that? 17?
17.
I don't see here. Getting black politics. This is when it starts to sort of repeat itself because we talk about how you can't be a black politician. If you're a black person looking for leadership, and I love this quote: if we vote for the same party, same person 3 times, and they don't do shit, you got to walk away from them. The 3 vote rule, and I think that's a great rule to follow because I voted for Bernie in 2016. I wrote his name in. So this is my first time voting for the Democrats since 2016. So coming into this, or 2008, because I didn't vote for Obama in his last term. No, I didn't vote for Obama in his last term. I didn't vote. So now I'm starting fresh. This is my first vote. And by the 3rd time, if we don't got some new shit, then we got to cross the line.
So I think this part of the book was talking about a person like Obama, though, because he went in and he didn't go in to just solely help black people. He went in to try to, like, how can we make this better for everybody?
Everybody.
And that's why he got so much black pushback, because he did this route versus
I think that's the best route. Anyway.
I think it's the best route too. And that's why
people give Obama shit like my man's didn't free 238,000 people from prison.
Yeah,
like,
he's one of my favorite people.
Yeah,
so,
like period. Like fuck the president.
Yeah,
we need to do his book,
brother.
We need to do his book.
Oh, I'm with that. He just dropped a new one.
He just dropped a new book.
I'm reading it right now. It's like $20.
It's $200.
No, it was like
I'm about to say it. I'm still with that.
Yeah, I'm getting that. I'm getting that book today.
Well, I got an Audible subscription, so
yeah.
It was whatever my subscription is, $14.99. I just used my credit, but it's only like $30 or something. It's called A Promised Land.
Yeah,
and he talked about his whole presidency and like
the first term. Now, just the first term.
Yeah, and some of the decisions he had to make and why he made some of those decisions. And
that does sound like it would hit. We should read his book.
And what goes and like the type of stuff he had to go through with Michelle, because Michelle didn't want his ass to run in the first place
at all.
Really?
He start all the way back to when he was
She talk about it in her book.
I know she said she didn't like anything about politics, but the way she gravitated to it, it seemed like it was almost natural.
I mean, you ain't got no choice.
At that point, but she didn't want him to run at all.
And I think she, as you can kind of take an idea of like what a person like. I think she realized like it's a lot of young girls looking up at me. I got to do something with this since I got it.
Well, she was focused on health. That's the reason we can't get no triple motherfucking like large drink and shit with a goof ass. Like all the sugar took out our cereal, bro. That's the type of shit that pissed me off though. Like relax, bro. Worry about other shit.
Why
tell you, bro?
Yeah, I ain't with that, bro. Don't force me to be healthy. Let me make this decision on my own.
I always say, we talked about it before, like they put Barack in power to keep him from being as great as he would have been. Like if he ran right now against Trump, like, come on, man. It'd be all the relationships he would have created. You got the unrest and everything we looking for, man.
He would have been unstoppable.
Hey, but the crazy part about it, like he was cool with a lot of people then, but it was just like because he was fucking who he was, they was like, we gotta make sure, because either way it goes, the first black president was gonna have those issues. So it's gonna be like, since we got all Republicans in here, we gotta make sure that they always said it. They always said on TV all the time that we gonna make sure whatever he put forward, we block. And they were saying that all back, like whatever he do, we gonna try to block.
I mean, they spent the last 4 years just undoing everything he's done.
Yeah, and trying to.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, and that's why I say, like, when as a black people, when I see black people, like, I'll talk shit about Obama's policy on bombing people in different countries to satisfy the war hawk. I'll talk about his less than stellar approach to immigration. But the thing that you can't sit here and debate me on is that this man wasn't doing absolutely the best he could when he had a House and Senate against him.
Yeah.
Like,
And then they would get mad at him for like putting like reinforcing shit that Bush put in place. Like, man, this is one of y'all dudes that put this in. He just redoing it.
hey, that shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. How just the shit he got. But he's literally the best president we've ever had in this country.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So, but it talk about how the people who aren't politicians speak on political matters. The first person that came to mind was Reverend Jesse Jackson. Why do we let people who have no business talking about something be the educators of the black community?
What I don't like about Jesse is that he was just salty because it wasn't him who did, who did it. That's what, like, man, relax, bro. Support your people.
And that's the
Because it's not you, bro. That's the problem. Like, you ain't gotta support him if you go against what you're doing. But the thing is, if motherfuckers in a position going for what you was going for, what's your issue? Because it's not you.
ego.
I knew a girl whose mother was running for city council as a Democrat. She lost, and then she turned around and became an independent, split the vote, and a Republican won. And I was just like, but wasn't your goal to get this? Y'all both had the same. It goes to that dualism again. We want the face.
That's why I get it. That's why remember we talk about that with the Democratic Party, because
Man,
there's so many factions of it. They need to come together and make a better decision.
That's why I tell Black all the time, we are stronger together. We are stronger together.
We don't tell me that.
Any people that vote for the same without results ought to be ignored, and that's been the black vote.
So and another thing they talk about that I thought was good, they should have spent more time. We need to be able to have a financial stake in our politicians. Like, we can't go to politicians and ask them for money. We need to say, we have this assorted amount of cash. We're bidding it off. Who wants it? But I think that can only play a role once we get some regulations into our politics. When Bill Gates, and I'm using Bill Gates' name in vain here, but when a billionaire can come in and make 100 donations of $100,000, that's legal bribery. We need to have a cap on how much someone can donate to it, which makes the playing field a lot easier. Because why are you going to listen to your constituents when you can be paid to ignore them?
Yeah. Hey, off topic. I wonder what the fuck is going on with Bill Gates' city.
Well, isn't he getting a lot of pushback? Where is he trying to build that shit at?
I forgot where he's trying to build. He's the city with all that. Like, I want to know who's going to be the first people to go with black. I think black people should take advantage of that.
The question is, there's going to be a steep.
It looks like it's in Phoenix.
It's in Phoenix, but you have to be microchipped and everything. Like,
I'm cool.
Yeah, that's out of control. That sounds like some Minority Report stuff.
but it's a tracking system. That's what your phone is.
That's why I leave my phone at the crib.
That's in me though.
Yeah, but you can pay all your bills with it. Like, some people got that wallet thing that they put in their wrist or whatever. I don't know. Some shit I'll be down for. I might not. If we can link that bitch to my body so my battery never die. My phone.
It's just about natural progression. We as old folks don't find that shit to be enticing. But in 30 years, when you don't have to carry anything in your pocket and your security is literally your body.
But if you ever seen, do you play what's the name of that fucking video game that's right now where they hacking everything?
Watch Dogs Legion.
Yeah, so motherfucker hack you standing right around the corner and shit. All your money just leave your.
Hey, but that's what you got insurance for. Like, there's going to be things for that. But also, hacking isn't that. That's not hacking. That's called. Hacking is like when you actually alter code to do something. That's like
you cheat and then you're like, baby, I was hacked.
Yeah, I was hacked. Exactly. Like that. If someone hasn't figured out how to do that while I'm sitting in the subway to my cell phone in my wallet right now, then the defense is going to keep up with the offense. As someone figures out how to break into people's chip, someone's gonna figure out how to stop it. So like if there's money to be made,
if
I'm
your
confident
fucking
in
what's
that.
the name is on, like your iPhones, they have it to where you're in control of when somebody from on the outside can get into your phone. And plus, if you have your fucking what's the name open, like for them to link it to your Wi-Fi, what's that shit called? When you use the Wi-Fi off your phone onto
Oh,
something
hotspot.
else.
Hotspot.
Now, if you have your hotspot on, somebody can probably hit your shit.
Oh, for sure.
And,
But like I have a VPN on my phone, and I literally be putting my phone somewhere in China or somewhere in like Russia or Germany anytime I'm trying to get on my hotspot.
and
But
then
I
you
mean,
got with the shit in your wrist. How do you stop that? Because they can just like bump you with like a little thing that's saying you paying them.
and maybe it's like a neural link, or like it goes to your phone and it buzzes your phone and says, "Are you trying to buy this?" Like 2-factor authentication.
Yeah.
I'm not the genius that's going to do this, and then I know damn sure I'm not the person that's going to Phoenix to find out.
And I'm not
how
testing it out first either. Like, but I'm damn sure if they block that little train from downtown to O'Hare, did they block that from being built?
No, I think that's still going. A bunch of these super trains are being made.
So I'm definitely be one of the first people to try that shit out.
I don't know how I would feel about that vertigo. Like that's what 300 miles per hour.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking G-force.
We get from downtown to motherfucking O'Hare in what 7 minutes? I'm cool. I need that.
I thought they got one that's going from Urbana-Champaign to it has 2 stops. One in South Chicago and then one in the medical district downtown. So it might be a continuation of that train. I'd love to see it. The one from Dallas to Houston, 30 minutes. That's a TV show.
Yeah, when is that supposed to be built?
They already building. They're drilling the hole now.
They already have all the tunnels in Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago is a railroad city.
Yeah.
Was there anything in 17? Anything else in 17? Because we got 18 left, and I literally have 3 things written down.
Yeah, it wasn't that's all I had.
18 was just a recap of the book. They literally reused the quote, 2 quotes from the book already. But all I've read here is that basically, 1, Black people are valued outside of America more than in America. 2, we have done for the world like no one else. And 3, we need to be more angry as a people.
And then we were saying that as far as what Black people has done for the world, and then also I was gonna talk about how artists, if they can find their way overseas, become bigger artists right away. They get that money fast.
It's kind of sad, and I hate to admit this, but like my content is watched more by white people. My comic book is read by more Asian and white people than it is Black people,
but comic books is going to be starting off with those demographics first.
But with the new boom of anime and cartoonism in the Black culture, like you got popular people talking about it.
But it's not that much of a boom. Like they're not deep into all the anime.
Watching the basic ass anime that's on, like Dragon Ball Z wouldn't be like the top anime for most anime watchers.
Yeah.
But that's on Cartoon Network for them. But it's so much other stuff that's so much better that people can see.
Yeah, true facts. But I mean, okay, but I can see that from the comic book perspective. But I still cringe and hints when a vast majority of my comments, and it's definitely changed. Like 80% of the people 65% of people who watch my content are. Did Rob just pass out? Oh.
He was just like,
I was like, dude.
Now bring something on my phone.
Now that anime, he's talking about anime, Rob. Like,
are you not entertained? But yeah, putting ourselves out there to be seen by other than people just ourselves. Like you it's hard to impress Black people when we're already so awesome. I think like making a drive to like push our shit to other people, because we make stuff cool, but white people and other races should definitely be paying for it. But what was 18's feelings for y'all?
Man, I think the whole book, it just kind of encompassed the whole. You're not truly, you can't call yourself a scholar if you haven't really studied Black people, and I feel like it's been intentionally left out, and you got so many people that think that they know so much, but if you think about this world and how much we've given to this world without the lack of knowledge of what's been given to this world, what does anybody really know? So I just thought that was just eye-opening.
Hey, I like how that the Europeans are so ready for Black artists to show that their own art through them instead of through white people.
Yeah.
I think the book also brings up a good point, how like the white people in this country have yet to do anything of relevance other than destroy. Like the art that they have was from the Europeans. The way of life, their taxation, their lifestyle, all comes from the Europeans. The white people in this land have yet to do anything other than destroy. I think the book made it
and hold back,
awesome.
and hold
Even
back,
of that land,
and hold back. They
all,
hold back too, outside of destroy.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
all their art came from Black art. So it's not like they wasn't really creative. They just brought the shit away from somebody else to show other people that didn't see it before. You look at all Picasso and all that shit, and then you look at all the older art that they find in Africa, you're like, God damn, this is a remake. Everything is a remake. They remixing shit and trying to call it their own. Fuck the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, that's definitely a part of it too. So I mean 18, so I mean, unless there's anything for 18, like we could just do a chapter review of this. What y'all think of this book?
I think 1 through 10 was great.
Damn.
I didn't need y'all. I didn't need to break the breakdown of every chapter to be in another chapter. I mean, most of those chapters could have been included with each other.
Yeah, I feel like after, I mean, probably till chapter 12, I didn't feel like there was nothing new that was told to me.
Yeah. It's a great book though. Like it's a book definitely needs to be read. But I love the book. It's just the fact that it get like for me, once stuff gets repetitive, I kind of not pay attention a little bit. And I know I probably with that happening, I'm gonna miss out on something that's supposed to stand out.
Definitely, I could see that. What about you, JB? Thoughts on this?
Overall, I thought this was a good book. Eye-opening, gave me a lot of stuff to think about. But
I thought it would be a story similar to The Spook That Sat by the Door with the underlining story plot thread, but this is just a bunch of categorical information that I say to myself, like, oh, I know that, but like the Spook That Sat by the Door, that's James Bond, baby. I thought there was some shit that was gonna go down. Rob, what do you think? 5 stars, 1 out of 10. What are you giving it?
I like the rate out of 5. So if I had to do out of 10, I would probably give it an 8.5.
Yeah,
I feel like the book could have, like to Black's point, this book could have been written in 12 chapters.
Yeah,
I feel like some of the chapters were very repetitive, and it's like, man, come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
But all in all, it was good, and I feel like there were quite a few takeaways for me. And this book reminds you time and time again, like when it's all said and done, think about all the progress we've still been able to make as a people with all of these things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the takeaway for me is you have to be able to think. 2, do for your people before you do for yourself. And 3, and I think like the one that kind of just sit with me on, seek the information. Don't settle. Like just because it's how it's written, it's how it's supposed to be seen, and just know it's not meant for you. You got to figure out what it's the world meaning. What does this mean to you as a Black person? Nothing can ever be looked at with normal tints. Everything's up to being subjugated from here on out for me. When I read it, when I see it, I'm always gonna say, what do you want a black person to think about this before I give them any credit or credence to it. But man, that concludes it. Shit, what are we reading next week? Because we got to go get the book. We are way behind.
What are we reading? The Alchemist.
Get the book. It's between The Alchemist, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Or the
we can pretty
Obama.
much like what other books y'all want to like. Y'all, why the fuck is JP penned? You like we can read whatever, bro. I'm down for whatever.
I mean, do we want to keep down this? I like I said, I just don't like reading no sad stories. Like I want a good story. Like preferably something with the story. Like if it's anecdotal readings, but the financial book is sort of kind of weird because then it's like, does this become a book? Like, are we going to be giving advice on the financial book, or are we just reading
the book?
it
The book is an advice book, right? It's pretty much
an advice. It's an advice book.
But
so like, because I have a financial podcast, money podcast already. So it's just like, I want to make sure it's not just a benefit to me. I want to make sure that you guys are interested in like.
No, we with a group of people that the working class, so we all gonna be interested in the money portion of it. So, but I feel like, man, let's make that a New Year book.
What, Rich Dad Poor Dad?
Yeah,
I'm with it. I read it once,
but get into another story. Like we can go like till before the day is over. We look at a couple books and then put it up there, or we can make Obama February, and motherfucking Rich Dad Poor Dad January. Start the year off thinking about money, then we go get into some black shit. Well, we can end it with a book like The Alchemist, something with a storyline to it.
Yeah, okay.
That ain't necessarily fucking a true story, but it's relatable.
So The Alchemist then.
Yeah.
We
go with that. I mean,
I work with The Alchemist.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna post. I'm like, we reading The Alchemist for December.
Just text Demetti.
Yeah. Well, Demetti read that book twice, so he'll read it again.
Oh, Demetti's already read the book?
Yeah, I read it.
Oh shit.
That's why we started the book. Like that was the whole reason we started the book club. Me and Demetti was reading The Alchemist. I'm like, man, we should start a book club because that's a good ass book.
All right. I'll find it.
That's a book you can read a lot. That and then we need to read Prince before the year's out.
Read what?
Prince by Nikolaj Machiavelli.
What the hell is that about?
Man, it's a book about getting leadership and keeping it.
Oh, ascertainment of power.
So that motherfucker, like anybody who's ever leaded anything, read that. That's why Tupac calls himself Machiavelli, but it's by Nikolaj Machiavelli.
It's like the Art of War, kind of. That's what. Yeah,
but here, it's not an easy read. That's what's gonna make it even better for a group.
So we can dissect it and have different perspectives
together. Like we had different. We definitely gonna have different perspectives, and it's something that we have to explain certain stuff to, because it's not an easy read at all.
Okay. All right. Well, I got it down now. The Alchemist. Who authored The Alchemist?
That's my boy Obeezy right there.
Yeah, so you got to stop reading that until February.
I seen it dropped. I'm like, let me get that. We gonna have to read this one though. Y'all, what's that? Y'all want to read this on y'all own?
But the thing I'm not really a big fan of military, and just hearing someone go through this treachery 3 times, like I just don't. Once again, haven't you had a cinnamon roll before, bro? Like, why would you do that when you can go have a cinnamon roll? Like, I just don't like that whole stuff. Like, you know what? JB speaks, he wants it, I'll do it. But I just don't. I don't know. I'm very like, because you remember early in what's it called? The Spook that Sat by the Door. I was a little hesitant about what Freeman was doing. I was like, yo, we out here letting people die as your cover fire, and it was, and Black Hawk. It's the sacrifices of war. Like that shit made me kind of cringe. So I know like I'm gonna always have a contrarian. Like when it comes to valuing of life, I'm always gonna be contrary about that. But I guess it's because I work in healthcare.
You work in a hospital. That's why.
Yeah.
Every life.
Every life can be saved. That's my whole theory.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm good with that, man. Shit, we
God,
2 books down, fellas.
Yeah, that's the book, bro. That's the book.
Alchemist. All right, I got it. Who's the author? That's what I was wondering.
It's Piccolo fucking. I mean, it's Paulo Coelho.
Yeah, Paulo Coelho.
Yeah.
Paulo Coelho. All right. I will look it up. I got another. I'm filming another podcast here in a little bit, but I mean, I can leave this open for you guys if y'all still want to chat.
I'm finna hop off. My wife texting me. You done yet? So.
Dang.
Hey, you ain't alone, JB. I gotta take out some business.
I ain't got nobody texting me. Why? These over. I don't deal with nobody.
I appreciate this therapy session, then, fellas. I really do.
All right, fellas.
Good luck today, JB, and I'll catch up with y'all a little later.
All right.
Oh wait, did anybody have anything they wanted to sponsor?
Hey, download Minecraft on y'all phones and shit. We can play on my system and y'all phones and your computer. We can all do that shit from time to time. Build us a black city.
Build us our Wakanda.
Making ginger tea, man.
You know they built the Wakanda on motherfucking Minecraft.
I saw that one. Hey, what you say, JB?
Yeah, my pops be making ginger tea. He got labels and all that other stuff, but I got some of the early versions. But
send it to me. Send it to me. I'll put it up there because I've seen you drink it throughout the episode, so I can post it in there.
All right, man.
All right.
So the old lady right there, like, bitch.
All right. I don't want JB to get in trouble. I'll catch y'all later.
Hello, fellas.
All right. Take it